What's up, everyone? It's Hyperion here. It's been a couple months since we looked at our Twitch stats, and I think now is as good a time as any to take a look at the past couple months on the channel here. If you remember the last time we did one of these videos, we were looking at our month of May. So a lot has happened since then, both good and not so good, and there is definitely plenty to talk about. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up here on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and you can catch me on Twitch Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States. So with that said, let's not delay this anymore, and let's take a look at what's been going on the past couple months of the channel. So if you remember the last time we left off, we were taking a look at May, which was, we ended up averaging 101 viewers for the month of May, which was really, really exciting. That's the first time we averaged a triple-digit viewership for an entire month on the channel. So we had an excellent month of June and July to follow that, and we're not doing so hot in August right now, and I'll definitely get into that here. That'll be the bulk of what we talk about here, but quickly, let's take a look at June here. So June, we averaged 132 viewers. So if you remember, if you've been following the channel here, I've been playing For Honor the entire time I've been streaming. Pretty much 99% of our streams have been one game. So I'm pretty known in the For Honor community at this point for playing a certain character, and that character ended up getting a bunch of changes made to her. So, and plus the new season of For Honor ended up starting between June and July here for season 7. So I definitely attribute a lot of that to the significant jump in viewership from May to June. So if you're going to take anything away from this section of the video here, it's this. If you have a foothold in the community and you are known in the community and you have a reputation within that community, and there's a big content patch, whatever that content is that comes out, and you're kind of like an authoritative figure in the game, you're gonna experience a pretty significant jump in viewership. So I definitely attribute that to the almost 30 viewer jump from May to June, and then we kept that momentum in the month of July here. And specifically, I'd like to take a look at the month of July because we had a lot of things happen in the month of July viewership wise. So we averaged, for the first time on the channel ever, 198 viewers, close to 200 viewers. So that was a huge deal for the channel here. But you can see we're kind of around that 130 average that we're pretty used to at this point in the channel here. And we've gone as low as 97. Of course, as high as 198, 164, but we're around that 130 average. If you take a look at this day here, this is an outlier right here. For whatever reason, the stats that day didn't record properly on Twitch. I streamed 3 hours a night, so obviously we streamed more than 0 minutes on Thursday, July 19th. So that probably, our biggest month probably would have been July, because if you remember in June we were at 132, and at July it says we're at 129. But this outlier is definitely affecting that number there. So if this wasn't here, I would bet that we would have averaged at least, if not more, viewers than the month of June for our July here. But you can see we had a really good month, and we finished it really strong with the 188 viewer average on July 30th and then 134 on July 31st. So overall, very strong month of the channel. Lots of new followers, lots of new viewers coming in, lots of chat messages sent, which, remember, I have been touting the entire time I've done this video series how important it is to have this number as high as possible. If you want to get this number as high as possible, this is what you need to be getting as high as possible to drive that. So in other words, if you want as many viewers as possible, one of the best ways to do that is have an active chat that is going to be welcoming to new viewers, that's going to be fun and engaging for everybody watching. So this is definitely, in my opinion, the biggest driver of this. And if you've been following me for the past year of my journey here, a year or so, you know how important this average chat messages number is to me. We're moving on to August here. Now, this is where the roller coaster portion of our channel is taking full effect here. So we averaged 305 viewers for August 2nd, which is absolutely freaking incredible. I could not be more excited about that number. And once again, I attribute that to the new season of For Honor coming out, lots of new content. The devs are adding a lot of new stuff to the game, and as somebody who's kind of an authoritative figure in the game, known throughout the community, a lot of people are going to be interested in what I have to say and how I play the game. So I definitely attribute a lot of that to this 305 viewership average. Of course, we got a big host from a good friend of the channel as well to help us out. But this is the first time I have averaged over 300 viewers for the stream, and that is so exciting in so many ways. But then look what happens here. There's a very, very sharp drop off for the rest of the month here, and I'm definitely going to explain that shortly. So once again, if you've followed the channel here, you know that I've been playing For Honor for the past year and 2 months, I believe, actually. And I believe that the fastest way to grow on Twitch is to play one game, stick with that game, work your way up in the directory, build a community, build a returning viewership, build as many relationships with as many people as possible. I believe that is the fastest path to growth on Twitch, is streaming one game. But I have gotten bored of the game that I've been playing for the past year, and I want to stream some other stuff now on the channel here. The content of For Honor for me has gotten a little bit stale. There's not a lot for me in the game that I'm looking forward to playing, and as a streamer yourself who happens to be watching this right now, you're definitely going to go through the same thing. You can't play the same game forever, right? Because eventually you're going to get bored of that game. And I've been talking a lot about switching games and how variety is so difficult. And if this isn't an accurate depiction of that point, I don't know what is. So we have averaged 130 viewers for June and July respectively. We hit 300 viewers, our biggest night of the channel by far. And then we kept it strong at 191 the next day, but then look what happens. 116, the viewers are kind of declining a little bit. 52, 109, and this is where I switch right here. So we were still averaging decent numbers, albeit lower than what we're used to on the channel. But this Tuesday, August 14th, was the first time I did not stream For Honor in a very, very long time. And then I have kept that, with the exception of this day here, for the remainder of the month. So I streamed Monster Hunter World this week here, so we averaged 41 the first night, which was really, really good, actually. That was more than I expected. 41 the second night, but then we dropped to 37, and then we dropped to 32. And then I was thinking, okay, I'd like to just jump back into For Honor here just to kind of shake off the rust and see what's happening. And look what happens. We double our viewership from the previous night, going from 32 to 73, more than double the previous night. And then at that point, I'm just not having fun with the game anymore. I'm just not... I'm just not enjoying the game. I'm being really negative on the channel. The game has gotten very stale for me. And so I said, I made a pact with myself that I would not stream For Honor for the entire rest of the month of August and the entire month of September until the next big content patch comes out in early October. And so I've been streaming World of Warcraft instead. 23 viewers, 36, 29, 28, 32, 25, and 24. I have not averaged low 20s for the channel as far as viewership is concerned, and I don't know how long. It's been a very, very, very long time. So that's what I mean about the roller coaster here. So this is my point to you guys here. If you happen to be watching this and you are thinking about switching games, you're going to go through the same thing. It's just absolutely inevitable. There's a large contingent of people, not all of your viewership, but definitely I would say about 2/3 of your viewership is probably just there for the game. Hopefully you can make that ratio a little bit more in your favor. And I actually was anticipating that we would have around 50 viewers stay. So you figure 50 of 130, that's a little bit more than a third, but not quite half. So I figured, okay, there's got to be at least 50 solid people that would follow me no matter what I do, because I felt like that I've done a good job at building relationships with those people. But unfortunately, that has not been the case so far, because we've averaged less than half of that 50 viewership average that I was hoping for when we switched games. It gets discouraging at times. Definitely gets discouraging at times. But, you have to remind yourself that it happens to everybody. Every single streamer on Twitch is going to lose viewers when they switch games. Every single one. Even Ninja, even the biggest streamers on the entire platform are going to lose viewers when they switch games. And we're, unfortunately for us, we're no different than everybody else. There's always going to be some number of people that are watching your channel because you're playing that game, because you're playing a game that they want to watch. So lately, I've been a little bit discouraged about the numbers we've been seeing, definitely, but I have to remind myself that it's completely normal and that we'll get through it, because I know that I'm a great streamer, and I know that we bring something to the platform that a lot of other streamers don't, and we'll be able to get that viewership back up. How do we do that? What's the goal here? What's the end game here? Where do we go from here? Well, for the time being, we're going to stick with WoW, World of Warcraft, because I've been enjoying it very, very much, and I'm definitely used to the game as well. And I'm going to be looking at, and I have been thinking of ways to diversify the content that I am bringing to the platform. Because when you do that, and it's so important that you do this instead of just making yourself tied to one game, if you diversify your content in a way that transcends the game, that goes beyond the confines of the game that you are playing, that content is going to be enjoyed no matter what you play, no matter what you do. And that's the goal of my channel here, and that should be the goal of your channel as well, if you don't want to run into a situation where you're stuck with one game and you're feeling like I can't play anything else. Even though I'm bored of this game right now, even though I'm not really having a lot of fun with this game right now, you don't want to feel like you're stuck in that situation of just having to play that game over and over and over again to keep your viewership high, because you're not going to have fun, and if you're not having fun, your viewers aren't having fun either. But you got to be strategic as well. So I talk a lot about on my podcast the past couple weeks, which I definitely recommend to you guys checking out. If you enjoyed this, you're going to find a lot of the same content in my podcast the past couple weeks as well. I talk a lot about maxing out the directory. If you feel like that you're getting stale with the game that you've been playing, or if you feel like you're getting bored with the game you're playing, I would recommend doing something like this. Play that game for as long as you feel like you're growing, and then max out your potential in that directory. And then when you start seeing yourself plateau for a few months or even dip down in viewership, that's when you switch, because you're not going to grow anymore in that directory, right? So you got to be strategic about what you decide to play and when you decide to play it if you want to be successful on Twitch, because if you're not, you're going to get swallowed up by all the big mammoth streamers in whatever directory you decide to go in. And if you continue building relationships, though, and continue diversifying your content and building a returning viewership of people that are going to follow you no matter what you do, that's what's going to make you successful. But you got to do more than just play a game. And I talk a lot about transcending the game on my podcast 2 weeks ago, so definitely check that out. And that's going to wrap up this video here for you guys today. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You can also catch me on Twitch Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States. I'm definitely open to answering any questions that you have about me personally, about the channel, how to grow on Twitch, what you should play, when you should play it. Any question that you want to throw my way, I definitely respond to all the comments, and you can always ask me live while I'm streaming on Twitch. With that said, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you making it this far, and we will see you all on the next My Twitch Journey video. So until then, everyone have a great one. Take care.